On Halloween night at Ball State University, we have a treat for you. The Ball State women's volleyball team returns to Worthen Arena in the thick of the rigorous Mid-American Conference season. It's the Ball State Cardinals against the Northern Illinois Huskies in a rivalry match right here on SportsLink TV. And if you look at the MAC West standings at the end of October, Northern Illinois sits at the top in first place with a 9-1 conference record. Ball State is just 2 games behind in second place at 7-3. It's safe to say that this match between the Cardinals and the Huskies will have large implications as to who takes the MAC West division title. Good evening, everybody. On this Halloween night from Worthen Arena, I'm Andy Wright alongside Tori Fox. And Tori, this match could not come at a better time for both teams, both at first and second place. This match could decide who wins the MAC West title.
It's very critical because Ball State cannot afford to fall behind 3 with 5 to play. They need Northern to not only stumble tonight here in Worthen, but elsewhere in the Mid-American Conference if the Cardinals want to take that MAC West championship.
Ball State head coach Steve Shondell had something to say about this match, and we talked to him earlier this week. Here are the coach's thoughts on what his team must do to beat the Huskies here tonight.
They are a very fast team. They pass the ball low. They run quick sets to their hitters. They're very difficult to defend and always very well coached. Ray Gooden has a great team every year. And we've had tremendous matches with them. When we went up there early in the season, I think 2 of the 3 games we lost were by 2 points. It was a match where we really did not play as well as we really were capable of playing, and they did. But that was then, and this is now. This is a new match. We're on our home court, and we're playing well. I think it's going to be a great match, one that could go either way, but I'd like to think that being on this home court that we can get the job done.
That was Ball State head coach Steve Shondell on his team's matchup with Northern Illinois. And the players are going to have a big part of it, Tori. Who is a Ball State player to watch for you here tonight?
Well, for Steve Shondell and the Ball State Cardinals, it's Alex Filling. She was the libero for Ball State in the first matchup versus Northern Illinois in September with 10 digs and only 1 attack. Now she's back in an attacking role, and the question is, does Northern Illinois have the blockers to slow her down too? Let's find out. For Northern Illinois, who else but Mackenzie Roddy? The senior from San Bernardino, California, has 1,000 total attacks this year. That's more than double anyone else on the team. She had a team-high 15 kills versus Ball State in September. And Andy, if we're calling her name a lot tonight, that's a bad, bad sign for the Ball State Cardinals.
It's a huge battle between the first and second place teams in the MAC West. Ball State taking on Northern Illinois here at home. When we come back, we'll have the first serve from Worthen Arena as you're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.
This is Alex Filling, and you're watching SportsLink TV. Chirp, chirp.
Okay, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. Hey, this is when
necessary toughness
is the perfect play. And Ford F-150 with EcoBoost is a huge hit with power and efficiency. And keep an eye on the clock, pal, because fans snag one of these bad boys about every 42 seconds. Ford F-Series, #1, 37 years straight. That's called a dynasty, baby. Now, during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, score big savings on the hardest working lineup of trucks on the field.
Hundreds of real-world interviews at Ball State helped me realize the responsibility that comes with being in front of the camera. Society needs passionate journalists. Now I'm on air in DC with the whole world watching. Ball State, education redefined.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena, where the Ball State Cardinals will take on MAC rival Northern Illinois here in a pivotal match to determine the top of the MAC West standings. We'll give you the starting lineups here early on here for both teams, as Ball State will have Alex Filling, Nikki Box, Spatafor, Hopkins, Hine, and Benson. The libero tonight will be Katie Vasilakis for the Cardinals, and Radke, Rodding, Austin, Gonzalez, Starlitsky, and Brereton will be starting for the Huskies, and their libero tonight will be Emily Ashke. As we take a look at head coach Ray Gooden, he is in his 11th season with the Northern Illinois, 13th season with the Northern Illinois Huskies, with a career record of 240 wins and 172 losses, and he has been a 3-time MAC Coach of the Year, 2006, 11, and 12, and 5 20-win 20-win campaigns, including an NCAA tournament appearance in 2011 for the Northern Illinois Huskies. A great resume for their head coach. And for Ball State head coach Steve Shondell, as always, in his 5th season with a career record of 100 wins and 48 losses. He just got his 100th win last weekend against Bowling Green, and a great record in the Mid-American Conference, 55-22. The officials tonight for this match: Carla Bunner, Daryl Korniak, Blake Everhart, and Doug White. And Tori, when we get an early look at this match, Northern Illinois head coach, what he said earlier was that they had a 9-0 record in MAC play, and that didn't seem to be what he expected early on in the season, did it?
No, I mean, it was a fantastic start for Northern Illinois. When you look at when these two teams first met back in September, Northern Illinois put pressure on Ball State right out of the gate. They were the aggressor. They had energy. And at the time, Ball State was still searching for a lineup. And when you look at this match today, Ball State has really solidified that lineup at the libero position. Katie Vasilakis is there. This is going to be interesting to see how Ball State attempts to slow Northern Illinois down. They're a very fast-paced offense. It's up to the Cardinals to try to slow them down here at Worthen Arena.
As you take a look, the Cardinals again wearing many pink ribbons in honor of Dig Pink Night. Again, they'll be taking on the Northern Illinois Huskies in a crucial match here to determine the MAC West division standings. The Northern Illinois Huskies came in with a 9-1 record, and 9-0 was they won the first 9 games in Mid-American Conference play. That was the best record in program history.
And then they ran into Ohio. And when you look at the MAC in general, Ohio in the East, they are running away with the entire conference. Northern Illinois, Ball State, Western Michigan, they're really fighting for second place, and this match is going to go a long way in determining who's going to be second place.
Marissa Hine will serve for the Cardinals, and we're underway here at Worthen Arena, and it'll fall in for an ace. It's always a great start, getting an ace on the first point, and the Cardinals lead 1-0. Northern Illinois will look to respond. And that time, the attack was unsuccessful from Mackenzie Roddy.
Well, Mackenzie Roddy, a great player for Northern Illinois. I said in the open, 1,000 total attacks this season for Roddy. Steve Shondell said earlier in the week, if the Cardinals are going to win this match, blocking is going to be key. Jenna Spatafora's blocking is going to be key, and it was good to see that here on point number 2.
Roddy again going long, and Ball State with a quick 3 points. So the Cardinals taking the early lead here in set 1. Ball State earlier this season lost to Northern Illinois on September 27th back at DeKalb, Illinois. Here's Filling from the left side. Her attack is blocked. And the tip at the net. Ball State retrieves it. Good rally here so far in the first set. Spatafora's tip over the net is out of bounds, and that will be the first point for the Huskies.
Right play by Spatafora, pushed it too much. Northern Illinois on the scoreboard. Great play by Alexis Gonzalez, though, able to track that one down a little bit earlier in the point, and she is rewarded by serving here in set number 1.
Gonzalez, a 2-year starter already as a junior for Coach Gooden's squad. Benson's attack blocked at the net by the Huskies. Rally again underway. Filling will get a look from the left side, and that will fall for the points. Alex Filling, Tori, your player to watch earlier in this season, the libero for the Cardinals, but now finally going back to her bread and butter position, the outside hitter spot on that left side, and here she gets a kill early on.
Yeah, in terms of the Mid-American Conference, Filling was an all-conference player as an outside attacker, but then we saw at the beginning of the year in the libero position, Coach Shondell made that move, wanted Alex to kind of refocus. She did a good job in that role, but Shondell has moved her back into an attacking role, said, well, we're just going to give Alex her arm back, and that's exactly what they've done, and so far so good. We've seen 2 attacks already by Filling, and the Cardinals already had 5-1, so far so good.
Filling to serve again after just getting her service ace. Second one for the Cardinals here this evening, as Northern Illinois will get the point. That's Zielinski, one of the strong middles for Northern Illinois.
As you take a look at the replay, Northern Illinois able to find a seam.
Zielinski was called by Coach Gooden one of the most balanced offensive players on this team. And as we know here in Cardinal Country, the middle is very important for a good match, as Ball State's Haley Benson, the good middle. We were just talking about it, Tori, and there's Haley Benson with her first kill of the night.
Haley Benson, Kelly Hopkins, the Ball State middle, arguably the best combination in the Mid-American Conference. Certainly Benson leading that charge, a four-time MAC West Offensive Player of the Week, leads the team in kills with 254. She's been tremendous, and what's lost in all of this, she's just a junior, Andy. She's just getting started.
And that also is a common theme for all these Ball State Cardinals. No seniors on this roster. Everybody has at least 1 year of eligibility remaining. As number 14, Tara Austin, the 5'8" outside attacker from Joliet, Illinois, getting the kill. Ball State leading 7-3 here early on at Worthen Arena. At Mangapora in the block at the net. Spatafora looking for Mangapora again. Gonzalez to Austin, and that will fall through. So Austin with 2 straight kills for the Huskies. After being down 7-2, they've made a little run here, Tori. 2 straight points.
And when you look at Ball State as a whole, Andy, and I think you've seen it from a radio side as well, the 1 weak link, Ball State has done well on the outside, but they have been 8 alive in the middle. And I think other teams have picked up on that. And that's something to see down the stretch in crunch time. Can Ball State tighten up that middle and hopefully force teams to do something different and put them in a tough spot?
As Kelly Hopkins with the kill, her first of the evening, the redshirt junior has become a crucial part of Coach Steve Shondell's offense. On the right side, here's Northern Illinois with the attack. Vasilakis with the dig. Attack from Roddy, dug up by Filling, and Hopkins in the middle. And a miscommunication on the pass that time from Gonzalez, and the attack goes out of bounds as the Ball State Cardinals have now a 9-4 lead. So early on, a lot going the Cardinals' way here.
That just a poor set. Northern Illinois basically giving a point to the Cardinals, but unfortunately the Cardinals give it right back with a service error.
And that happens so many times in volleyball. You get a point off a mistake and you make one of your own. It just seems so easy for that to happen, and the good teams really find a way to avoid that roller coaster and go point by point, and able to string some points together. Hopkins tools the block. Austin could not get it, and Hopkins now starting to heat up with 2 kills here tonight.
Well, Kelly Hopkins, double-digit kills in 5 of Ball State's last 10 matches. She had a career-best 17 kills versus Northern Illinois back on September 27th. Again, you've got to give credit to Hopkins right there, who's able to find a hole. Her and Benson have done so much and have carried the load for Ball State for a majority of the season.
And Northern Illinois calls a timeout. We'll take a break. You're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.
Covering the Olympics in London as a student and seeing my work in the Chicago Tribune. That experience jump-started my career in New York City at Time Magazine and developed me into a true visual storyteller. Ball State, education redefined.
Students in SL, just do it. Online at Nike.com. Back at Worthen Arena, the Ball State Cardinals have an 11-5 lead here in the early going. And it's also a very nice night here, a special night for a good cause, as both the teams wearing a special color, and our sideline reporter Allison Wilson could tell us a little bit more about that. Allison?
Yes, tonight is Dig Pink Night here at Worthen Arena. Ball State's volleyball team is supporting various pink socks, pre-wrap, even some bows out there, and warmed up in pink shirts in recognition for breast cancer research. And during the entire month of October, college, high schools, and middle schools can participate in Dig Pink Night as part of the Side Out Foundations to make a difference.
As always, Ball State Athletics doing their part to spread awareness.
Another great example, Andy, of Ball State and Ball State Athletics focusing on more than just sports, and that's always nice to have.
It certainly is. As we get back to action, the kill went out. The kill attempt went out of bounds from Austin. It's now 12-5 is the score.
As when you look at it, this has been almost a textbook start for the Cardinals to go up 12-5. When you looked at Northern Illinois, they're the one that like to play fast, typically jump out ahead of opponents. Been the complete opposite here so far. If you're Coach Shondell, you've got to be happy. Mackenzie Roddy still without a kill. Northern Illinois still in this really because of Tara Austin, number 14.
Austin, again, being very active, as you see number 5 on your screen, Jenna Radke. And Jenna Radke, as a freshman, made the All-MAC freshman team last year for Coach Gooden's squad. Here continuing her pace this season with over 160 kills. Kelly Hopkins with the kill down the right line, and Kelly Hopkins, with limited playing time over the past 2 years for Coach Shondell Torrey, is getting good looks here this season and continues to make way.
Great set by Spadafora, and Hopkins able to find the corner. Keeps the Cardinal lead at 5. The block there by Jenna Radke, the sophomore from Buffalo Grove, Illinois. She'll go back to serve as Northern Illinois has done a great job of coming out of the timeout and trimming the Cardinal lead. It's now down to 4. Good to see Alex Filling, though, Andy, on the outside, coming up with the kill.
13-8 the score. Filling on the left side with the attack, like you said. And it's so important, Tori, for Ball State to get out to a lead like this. They know what kind of consequences they could have on their season if they lose. And coming off that sweep from Northern Illinois into Calb, you want to be able to defend your home court and say this is our house, and they have a 4-point lead and a great start against these Huskies.
Well, historically, when you look at Ball State and Northern Illinois here at Worthen, Ball State has had the upper hand 13 out of 17. But in terms of the MAC West, as we spoke in the open, the Cardinals seemingly have to win out and then get some help by some other teams in the conference. Northern Illinois jumping out 9-1. And if you take a step back, the Cardinals have Western Michigan tomorrow, who are 3rd in the West, and the Broncos have their eyes set on leapfrogging the Cardinals and potentially catching Northern Illinois. So this weekend will go a long way in determining the fates of not only Ball State, but also Northern Illinois, and throw in Western Michigan as well.
Number 20, Mary Grace Kelly, coming into the match for the Huskies, and it's fortunate for Coach Gooden that she is playing. She dealt with a concussion for a couple weeks and actually did not play the last time these two met back in DeKalb. Magnapora with the attack, and it goes out of bounds off the Northern Illinois block. Zielinski's block was unsuccessful, and the Cardinals have a 15-10 lead. Haley Benson will serve. The Cardinals already have 3 service aces on the evening. And the attack from Kelly will fall on the floor. Mary Grace Kelly, another one of these good young players for Coach Gooden. She was named to the 2013 All-Freshman team in the Mid-American Conference. And again, dealing with concussion symptoms earlier this year, is fully healthy now.
And when we talked in our last broadcast, Andy, against Toledo, I mean, it was the Rockets who had the youth. We're very young, we're still building. Northern Illinois, just as young. 5 freshmen, 7 sophomores, 1 junior, just 2 seniors on the roster. It's been almost the opposite. Northern Illinois, their players too young to know any better and have come out firing this season. Even Coach Gooden was surprised when we talked to him earlier in the week. But if you're the Cardinals, when you're playing this young team, perhaps you can rattle them just a bit if you can get out ahead and stay ahead. Great block there. Mangapora. Blocking will be key tonight, for the Cardinals. That right there is a great example. One-on-one, and Zielinski stuffed by Magnapora.
Magnapora is notorious at those solo blocks as we take a timeout on the court, and we'll keep it here. Coach Gooden of the Northern Illinois Huskies actually had a surprise visit.
Yes.
And a new member of his family.
Coach Gooden welcomes a new member to the Husky family at 6:45 a.m. on Monday morning. Gooden and his wife, Stephanie, had their 3rd child, a little girl named Lily. I think it's safe to say that Lily did not make it here tonight, but we do want to congratulate both of them on the newest member of the Husky family.
And again, Coach Gooden is not happy so far with his team's effort. They're down by 6. Cardinals up 17-11. Coach Steve Shondell likes the effort, Tori. And early on, what have you seen so far from the Cardinals that have had them early success?
Well, statistically, the Cardinals already out-hitting Northern Illinois, 318 to 176. I said in the open it was going to be Mackenzie Roddy for the Huskies. She was going to be key. She is 0 for 2 tonight, hitting under 0. That's a big surprise. Again, they established Alex Filling early. We've seen Kelly Hopkins come on strong, 4 kills and 5 attacks for an .800 hitting percentage. That's a great way to start. Now, Northern Illinois came out of the last timeout and was able to chip into the Cardinal lead. Let's see if the Cardinals can do a better job of maintaining this 6-point advantage and closing out the first set.
Back in action here at Worthen Arena. A good rally out of the timeout. The attack from Radke will fall on the Ball State side for a kill. Radke playing well now, 2 kills in 3 attempts. Again, one of those good middles for Coach Gooden. Ball State still, though, with the 17-12 lead, and now number 9, Paige Dakanai will serve. Amanda Raker with the attack, dug up by Northern Illinois. And Kelly's attack, a good dig attempt by Katie Vasilakis, but Kelly with the kill there now, 2 kills for the sophomore this year.
Kelly came into this match 4th on the team in kills, averaging 2.44 a set.
And Hopkins will get the point. Another kill for the redshirt junior, 18-13.
Well, Hopkins has been on fire tonight. 5 kills and 6 total attacks to start this match. She's been carrying the load for Coach Shondell.
And Nikki Box to serve for the Cardinals. Again, up by 5. They have not trailed in this set once. The kill attempt from Radke goes out of bounds, and now it's a 6-point lead.
Northern Illinois not able to control the ball there, Andy. Coach Gooden stressed that when things are going right for his team, their ball control is strong, and that arguably has been Ball State's weakest link this year, is their ball control. Very uncharacteristic of a Steve Shondell team.
Yeah, Steve Shondell's teams have been characterized by ball control, and one thing that you know that's been a result is the fact that they have not hit as well offensively this year. In the last 10 games, the Cardinals have hit .240 as a team, so they're certainly on the right track. And here's Filling on the left side, a nice dig by Northern Illinois, but we're gonna have a double hit violation against the Huskies, and it'll be point Ball State. Katie Vasilakis will serve. They're libero tonight for the Cards. And her serve will just be on the line. Katie Vasilakis with a great ace. The Cardinals, Tori, already with 4 service aces. They're not hurting themselves at the service line.
No, not at all, and very good to see. Northern Illinois actually came into this match the better serving team than the Cardinals, but however, Ball State has flipped that script. It's a big reason why they're up 21-14 here.
Spatafora for Benson. And a miscommunication on the Ball State side. Spatafora fell to the floor, as you can see, and that's something that Spatafora has been able to clean up lately. In fact, she has had over 12 assists per set lately in the last few matches.
Yeah, right here, Nikki Box zigged, Jenna Spatafora zagged, and the ball dropped the point to Northern Illinois. Amanda Raker, nice swing.
Raker, another player for Coach Shondell that he's had to count on lately, and she has improved in her last 10 matches, hitting .240. And there you see with the kill.
Benson the decoy, the set to Raker. And her first kill of the evening.
Dump attack by Gonzalez is read by Vasilakis. And the attack from the Cardinals will go into the antenna. So Ball State still with a 6-point lead, up comfortably here in the first set. But as we always say, no lead is safe, especially in a Mid-American Conference volleyball match. Free ball at the net results in Northern Illinois' point. Zielinski was able to get it past Nikki Box for the Cardinals. As the Huskies still in this, they need to make a run here though.
Zielinski at 6'4". No defense there from the Cardinals, not able to even attempt to block it. And Northern Illinois, Andy, starting to catch fire. Here they have trimmed the Cardinal lead to 4, and Steve Shondell wants to think about it. A good timeout as we look at the replay. Set by Spatafora, Benson really going up against a triple block. And even though Haley Benson is talented, not many players in the country could beat that.
Northern Illinois trimming down the lead here as Coach Gooden will talk with his team here. Northern Illinois still in this set. As you know, Ball State did not take a set at all against the Northern Illinois Huskies in DeKalb, so this is new territory for the Cardinals. And they've done it, Tori, with good hitting. So far they're hitting around 200, and they've really held Northern Illinois in the defensive category well as well, hitting 170 so far.
The Ball State attack percentage, though, has dropped significantly. Earlier in the set, it was at 318. Now it's down to 182. A good sign, though, for the Cardinals. Despite it being only a 4-point lead, they are out-digging the Huskies 15-12.
Ball State SportsLink would like to thank Robbins Apparel. For your screen printing or embroidery needs, trust Robbins Apparel. Online at robbins-apparel.com.
How about those costumes?
Thank you, Allison. Absolutely. It's Halloween. We couldn't participate, Tori, but I love the creativity here at Worthen Arena.
Well, we can't participate now, but that doesn't mean a few hours later we can't get in our costumes, whatever they may be, but we'll see.
Alex Filling with the kill. Now 3 kills on the night. Again, earlier the libero for the Cardinals, now going back to outside hitting role, and Tori, as your player to watch, that's exactly what she needs to do.
Exactly, and Mangapura comes in. I think she's coming in for blocking here late. She's one of the team's best blockers.
Alex Filling and the Cards up by 4. Just 2 points away from taking this first set here at Worthen Arena on Halloween night. Spatafora will set it up for Mangapura. Nice dig by Filling. The Cardinals able to get it over.
Cardinals all over the floor, not able to get anything offensively going on that point, and Northern Illinois, too good of a team to let that opportunity go by.
Zielinski, just like you said, too good of a player even, and too good of a team Northern Illinois is to let that go by. She gets the kill as the Huskies reach the 20-point mark. Still, though, trail by 3. Spataforta setting it up for Benson, and that will give the Cardinals here set point, up by 4.
Appropriate, Andy, that when Ball State needs a point, they go to Haley Benson. They go to Benson on the outside, but Northern Illinois, too big of a hole there in the center of the court. Benson's going to find it every time.
Benson will serve for the Cardinals here, but not if Northern Illinois has anything to say about it. Zielinski continues her good play, continuing the set for Ball State's second set point now. And the serve goes into the net. Ball State takes set 1, 25-21. When we come back, you'll see the second set of Ball State women's volleyball versus Northern Illinois right here on SportsLink TV.
The Mid-American Conference. We come from many places. We're as different as the games that we champion. But behind every great play, beneath every uniform, lies something even greater. Because the real goal is building better people. The Mid-American Conference. Sportsmanship for life since 1946.
And the students of Ball State SportsLink. The bell tower looks lovely this time of evening, and Coach Gooden and the Northern Illinois Huskies down 1 set here as the Cardinals took set 1, 25-21. And again, Coach Gooden welcomed a new member of his family earlier this season. And our sideline reporter, Allison Wilson, has more on that story. Allison, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Coach Gooden welcomes a new member to the Husky family. It was early Monday morning. His wife, Stephanie, had their 3rd child. It's a little girl named Lily. So we congratulate him on that newest member, and maybe she'll be on this volleyball court sometime when she gets a little older.
A great story, and when we talked to Coach Gooden, he told us that story, and I was certainly pleasantly surprised to hear that. And always a good thing to have a new baby in the family.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at Ray Gooden, though, as a volleyball coach, we focus a lot on Steve Shondell, and rightfully so, but Ray Gooden over in DeKalb has done so much. He is the longest tenured coach in NIU volleyball history, a 3-time Coach of the Year. He has coached 27 All-MAC players, 22 academic All-MAC players, 8 MAC All-Freshman players, and 5 MAC Player of the Years. He has done so much up there in Northern Illinois, and he has taken this season, Andy, a very young team, and put them right in contention for a Mid-American Conference championship. That's saying a lot, and Coach Gooden really thinks that this year could be the year for Northern Illinois to bring a MAC West championship to DeKalb, and perhaps an overall MAC tournament championship to Husky land.
They've certainly been close, Tori. They have actually reached 4 straight semifinals in the MAC tournament the last 4 years, and they did reach the NCAA tournament in 2011 as an at-large. They actually did not win the postseason title that year, and Coach Gooden, the longest tenured program or coach of the program, has a lot to offer to this team. And again, when we talked to him earlier this year about his team going 9-0 in the Mid-American Conference, he thought there was no way that would happen with his young team. They were 19-13 last year, a lot of young freshmen, a lot of young players, but they really have matured before his eyes, and they have a lot of potential. And like we talked about earlier, this is a team that Ball State has to go through to win, let alone the MAC West title. and the postseason tournament title.
Well, how about the MAC West in general, Andy? I mean, every team over the past 5-6 years have been right there. It's been somewhat of a cycle. The West is a battle, plain and simple. In the East, it's been Ohio, 10 MAC titles in 11 years. But in the West, every program has competed and won a MAC West title. So expect matches like this, Ball State and Northern Illinois, and even when you look ahead to tomorrow with Ball State and Western, they're going to be big matches for a number of years in the future.
Certainly good thing to be said as we get back underway here in set 2. Ball State took set 1 25-21, the first time they've won a set against the Huskies this season. However, the Huskies have come out strong here, getting the first 2 points. As you see on your screen, Shelby Sawyer was able to get the block and the point. Radke to serve. The Huskies did not lead at any point in that first set, but here already they lead 2-0. And Filling's attack is blocked by Northern Illinois. There's Sawyer and Gonzalez on the block. And Coach Steve Shondell is going to take a quick timeout here as the Cardinals are already done 3-0. We'll take a break. You're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.
Ball State SportsLink is bigger than ever. The best stories in Ball State sports, live game production, award-winning studio shows, and more. It's only from Ball State SportsLink, an immersive learning production.
Welcome back to Worthen Arena. Ball State SportsLink recently had a guest with us earlier this week to talk to us, a very famous guest that might have something to know about the NBA season. And Allison, you might be able to tell us more about that.
Yes, indeed. On Monday, Chris Denary visited with all of the SportsLink crew, and for those of you who don't know, Denary is the Pacers play-by-play announcer. He traveled to Muncie to spend the day talking with the students of SportsLink nearly 48 hours before the start of his own NBA season. And we want to send another thank you to Chris for taking that time and sharing his wisdom about live broadcasts.
Well said, Allison. It was certainly a good experience to meet with him from all of us, and we appreciate it. We know that.
And how about the Pacers starting off the season with a win over the 76ers? A lot of doubt around this Indiana Pacers squad. The injury to Paul George, Lance Stevenson leaves, but I mean, it's basketball in the state of Indiana. This state should know anything's possible. 5 guys on the floor. If the Pacers play smart, take their time, they can compete in the Eastern Division. I'm not an NBA analyst, but I'm not ready to count them out yet.
And Chris Denary isn't either. And there's the attack and kill from Haley Benson, her first of this set. Haley right now with 4 kills and 9 attempts.
Well, Raker there, the decoy in the middle. Benson has been strong so far tonight on the outside. Haven't seen her so much in the middle yet. But that a crucial point for Ball State to at least get on the scoreboard here in set number 2.
Roddy's attack is out of bounds on the Ball State side. As after the Shondell timeout, the Cardinals get 2 straight points. Hine will serve for the Cardinals. And the attack from Roddy will fall on the line. Mackenzie Roddy, your player to watch tonight, Tori, for the Huskies. She had 1,000 kill attempts already coming into this match, 374, which was second in the Mid-American Conference, and she's picking up where she left off here in this match.
Although let's give credit on that point to Alexis Gonzalez, the setter. She set that ball basically right in front of us, the entire length of the court there for Roddy. We didn't see Roddy have a good first set. She hit under 0. I don't think that's going to happen many more times in this match.
Alex Filling, though, with just as much talent as Roddy, getting her first kill of the second set. She'll serve. And that'll go out of bounds. A big no-no on the serve. But she's actually been one of Ball State's best servers this season coming in to this match. She's actually 5th in Mid-American Conference. with 0.3 serves per set.
That her second service error of the match. As again, Benson there on the outside, Andy. That's been an interesting move by Shondell. Mangapora, again, going up against a double block. Not a whole lot you can do.
And one thing you mentioned in the pregame, Tori, is that Ball State's lineup wasn't completely set in that match against Northern Illinois on September 27th. Shondell was still working with who his starters were going to be, who his main contributors were. Mangapora since then has blossomed. Benson and Hopkins have assured their roles. Filling is on the outside. So what we're seeing tonight is not necessarily that the Cardinals didn't play well, but it's just their lineup is more intact.
Well, and going back to Mangapora, this sequence is exactly why Steve Shondell believes she could be the MAC Freshman of the Year. 3 straight total attacks out of Mangapora after the miss, and that time she comes up clutch, gets the Cardinals all square with the Huskies at 5. But another service error, Andy. It's been very uncharacteristic of the Cardinals because it seems like at the service line, they've been their own worst enemy.
The Cardinals actually had 8 service errors against Northern Illinois back against them on September 27th in DeKalb, and already with 4 here tonight. Gonzalez will have her attempt blocked by Hopkins. Gonzalez tried the dump attack, but Hopkins was ready for her.
Hopkins going up by herself right there.
As it's 6-6 now. The Cardinals were down 3-0 early on, but they've had a 6-3 run to even things up. And a point will go to the Huskies. This is going to be a double hit violation on Spadafora. So this set much different already than the first. A back and forth affair as the Huskies are up 7-6. Ball State never trailed in that first set, as Northern Illinois was always trying to catch them from behind. Going with the attack. Northern Illinois will answer, and they answer with authority. That time, Mary Grace Kelly able to get the kill past the hands of Katie Vasilakis. Kelly now already here tonight with 3 kills, hitting 60%.
And neither team, Andy, so far really establishing offense in the middle. It's really been an outside attack game for both squads. There, Hopkins on the outside, no chance Northern's going to put that one back into play. As Hopkins, her 6th kill and 8 attempts, she's been the key for the Cardinals here in this match so far.
Kelly Hopkins coming into this match was 2nd on the team in attack percentage, hitting overall .270, only behind Haley Benson, who's in the top 10 of the MAC in hitting percentage. Kelly Hopkins with a block at the net, now tying the match up at 8. So the Cardinals showing great resiliency here. Shondell likes what he's seeing as Nikki Bach serves. And the attack goes wide, again from Kelly, her first attack error. As both teams struggling a little bit from that standpoint. 8 attack errors now for Northern Illinois, and now 8 for Ball State. But the Cardinals lead by 1 here in this very important second set. And Radke now contributing again for the Huskies. And Tori, depth is something that the Cardinals have had and we're used to seeing, but already here we're seeing players like Radke, Roddy, not just your player of the game to watch, but here Tara Austin, everybody contributing for the Huskies.
And I think everybody's going to have to contribute in this match because you have a back and forth set number 2 right here. We could have a back and forth set number 3, potentially a back and forth set number 4, potentially a set number 5. So I think both teams are in it for the long haul.
It may have certainly been a surprise to see that Ball State never trailed in that first set, but a little more what we expected. And Hopkins on the right side, tying it up at 10. She very well may lead the team in kills when it's all said and done. here taking advantage of a good set from Spadafora.
Great set, and again, the Cardinals attacking from the outside, not really attempting to go up the middle. It's been all to the outside. We saw Benson do that, Hopkins, Mangapora.
And Radke tips it over as the Cardinals couldn't handle it. It pinballed off a couple of defenders. Now 11-10. Radke will serve for the Huskies. They look to even this match up at 1 set apiece. Benson is blocked at the net, and Filling will attack it over. And there's a kill from the left side of Northern Illinois. There we say it, Mackenzie Roddy, giving the Huskies a 2-point lead.
Only a matter of time before the senior from California starts to come alive. And you know, when we talked to Coach Gooden, he stressed with Roddy, she brings experience to this team, a young team, started as a middle, transitioned to the outside, but she's just a very versatile player. And he believes that Roddy is the true definition of a Mid-American Conference volleyball player.
Roddy's attack that time was blocked by Raker, but they're going to rule a carry violation on Raker on that block, and it'll result in a point against the Huskies. Raker, again, the former Butler basketball player, struggled early on this season, Tori, hitting in the zeros through the first 14 games. But like I said, she has improved, and she's really coming to her own here in her junior season.
And she's going to be key in this match with blocking. That was something Coach Shondell said. Raker's blocking, Spadafora's blocking, because the Cardinals needed to tighten up the middle. They've done a great job of protecting the outside, but the middle has been a struggle this season, and Raker and Spadafora, they were tasked with slowing the NIU offense down in this match. And another thing with the Huskies that I don't think we've necessarily seen, Andy, is NIU, when you talk to people around the Mid-American Conference and the volleyball schools, they play fast, very, very fast. It's important for opposing teams to make sure that they get to their defensive spots quick. Northern Illinois' offense really doesn't fit into other Mid-American Conference, schemes, so to speak. The pace that they use, it's a lot faster than many other conference schools that you'll see.
Ball State head coach will take a timeout. And Kelly Hopkins here coming out of the timeout. I want to mention her, Tori, again because of her success so far in this match. 7 kills in 10 attempts. Kelly Hopkins, a player that did not get a lot of time on the court for Shondell and the Cardinals, Tori, here having her best season in her life this year.
No doubt about that. 7 kills in 10 attempts so far in this match. One of the big reasons why Ball State was able to hold on and take set number 1 from the Huskies, as you see on the outside, finding a hole. What she has done this year is truly special, because her and Benson combined have done wonders for the team's offense and have opened up so many doors. Defenses now have to protect against the middle with Kelly Hopkins leading the way and Haley Benson, but with the outside, now that opens up Mangapora, it opens up Filling against a single blocker, because defenses have to send 2, not 1. Most of the time they're just sending 1 against Benson, but because of Hopkins' play this year, they've had to send 2, freeze the outside up, and the Cardinals have a solid offense brewing.
Yeah, 10 matches where Kelly Hopkins has had double-digit kills. Her career high came against these Huskies on September 27th, Tori, with 17. And Hopkins is, I have to say, she's the personality of this team. She's very animated when she's on the court, and she loves to kind of get on the opponent's head when she does well. Here, though, Northern Illinois up by 4 and controlling things here in the second set. Austin's attack will go off of Marissa Hine. Tara Austin, a sophomore, and from Joliet, Illinois, hitting 173 this season, but with great leaping ability, able to get the kill there.
The sophomore class for Northern Illinois, very talented. 7 on the roster for NIU. That includes Austin, that includes Jenna Radke.
As Alex Filling with a great attack 4 kills in 14 attempts. She got off to a slow start, but something to be noted is that Alex Filling's performance against NIU last year was some of her best volleyball all season last year. She actually had 18 kills, hitting 300. So this Husky team knows how good she can be on that outside spot. And now this year, perhaps she's starting to come to her own back at that spot she loves so much against these Huskies once again.
Attack here, too hot to handle for Katie Vasilakis, as Sawyer able to go right at her down the line. And Northern Illinois has really maintained this 5-point lead here late in set number 2.
Ball State had it tied up at 10 apiece, but Northern Illinois right now on a 7-2 run. Spatafor setting it up for Mangapore, who's blocked. Mangapore will do it again. Northern Illinois is right there. Spatafor able to get it across the net after some miscommunication. And the ball pinballs off of Benson. Just a little too many miscues for the Cardinals there on that point. Northern Illinois able to take advantage.
Mangapora not really able to sustain anything major, was going back with some attacks, but not enough. Northern Illinois able to control the point. That ball ended up almost right in front of us, Andy.
I dare say it gave me a scare on this Halloween night.
Well done on that, well done.
The attack from Ball State goes long. Sabrina Magnapora does not agree with the call, as now Northern Illinois has the largest lead at any point of this match with 7. Magnapora again, redshirted last year. When we talked to Steve Shondell earlier this week, he said that Magnapora has a great chance to win that MAC Freshman of the Year award with her play this season already. She has 140+ kills at this point.
Mangapore's got 17 total attacks tonight. That went over our head, but focusing back on the volleyball, you saw the substitution. Mackenzie Kitchell comes in, Mangapora goes out. I think Mangapora, she's been fed many times tonight, but hasn't been able to come up with enough kills, hitting just 118. Coach Shondell going to go with Kitchell to see if perhaps she can kind of provide a spark for this Ball State offense that has really fizzled out here late in set number 2.
Benson getting back in the action on the offensive side, has been notoriously quiet, only hitting .090 right now. That's rare for the 4-time MAC West Offensive Player of the Week. Already 4 times she's won that award, Tori, this year. 5 times overall in her career, but nobody in the Mid-American Conference has more awards than Benson this season.
A very talented player she is, Andy, and we'll actually catch up with Haley Benson in our halftime break. Tim Rushi able to sit down with the junior, able to sit down with Coach Shondell as well. So it'll be very interesting to see what she has to say about her season so far to date.
You can get some insight on what the junior has done so well as being one of the best blockers and middle attackers in the Mid-American Conference. Ball State, though, in a pickle, down by 8, but not if Kelly Hopkins has anything to say about it. The junior again now with her 8th kill, getting close to the 10-kill mark already here in the second set.
Once again, going to the outside, as you saw on the replay, Spatafora the set and Hopkins right there. She has done so much early here in this match against Northern Illinois, but again, give credit to Spatafora as well, setting up the play in its entirety.
Roddy with a nice dig by Spatafora, and Raker able to save it. Vasilakis gets it back over. And a double team block. Kelly Hopkins and Amanda Raker send it to the floor.
Tell you what, Andy, Northern Illinois won that point a couple times, but Kelly Hopkins right there in the middle. We're talking so much about her offense. Let's not forget about what she's able to do at the net. And right now, Northern Illinois's got to think it over as the Cardinals have closed within 6. This set not entirely in Northern Illinois' category just yet.
Ball State down by 6. But first, we have a very special organization we want to thank. Allison, turn it to you.
Yes, WIPB. The students of Ball State Sports Link would like to thank the staff of WIPB TV in Muncie. Thanks to everyone at WIPB, including Bill Bryant, Rob Foltz, Keith Huffman, and our engineers in charge, Eugene Smith and Rick Martin.
Thank you, Allison. As always, we thank everybody at WIPB for helping us put on this presentation on Ball State Sports Link and ballstatesports.com. Again, the students having some fun on Halloween. I do not know what that costume is. A couple of pizza boxes on one of the drum line.
I think it's more than just a couple. It looks like about 7 or 8.
And there appears to be some kind of pirate eye patch on the other. And again, a good student crowd here tonight. Glad to see that not everyone is celebrating just yet.
My favorite costume right there. I need one of those. Hope they have it in my size. You're still smiling.
That I don't think I could fit into that, but hey, anything's possible. They got stretchable elastic fabric now.
I just thought it was nice.
I would have supported it.
I
Northern
can always
Illinois.
count on you.
Yeah, Northern Illinois out of the timeout. Gets the point up by 7 now. Paige DeKanai will serve. The attack from Kelly, and she tools the block of Hopkins and Raker. Kelly with a lot of power, and Ball State seeing her again for the first time. As she made the All-MAC freshman team last year, she puts a power in that kill and gives the Huskies an 8-point lead. As the Huskies will look to tie this matchup at 1 set apiece. Cardinals still in it, but they're gonna have to be very active quickly here in the second set if they want a chance to go up 2-0. Spatafora setting up Hopkins, who gets the job done once again. Kill number 9.
Fair to say, if Northern Illinois is going to win this match, they're going to have to go through Kelly Hopkins.
Kelly Hopkins right now, the only Cardinal attacker hitting over 200, now hitting 636. That's pretty effective, I'd say. Whistle blows, and the point will go to Northern Illinois. They're going to rule a double hit violation on the Cardinals. So it'll be set point for the Huskies, who look to tie this matchup at 1 set apiece. Here they lead by 8. The Cardinals were able to take the first set 25-21. Kelly Hopkins, kill number 10, going solo style. Keeping it, the Cardinals in this set. They trail by 7. Kelly Hopkins putting together an incredible performance already here. She's very due for a career high in kills if she keeps this up. The kill goes long.
Tip goes long.
From Roddy. And the Cardinals still in this set.
Ball State, at the very least, going to make Northern Illinois earn it if they want to level this up at a set apiece.
And Roddy touched the net on her attack. Give the point again to the Cardinals, who now trail by 5, and we'll probably get more into this later, but Roddy not having the best night for Coach Gooden's squad. 4 kills, 4 errors, hitting 0% on the evening. Quite a surprise if you're the Huskies. But the set will end as Northern Illinois gets the point. Radke able to finish it off, and the Huskies take set 2, 25-19. The match is tied up at 1 set apiece. We'll be right back. You're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.
This is Aaron Taylor. Be sure to watch SportsLink, Third Down Chirp, Friday at noon. One team, one mission.
Hey, can you help me move?
Oh, you know what? I'm stuck at the office.
Hi, I'm moving.
No problem, sir. You can get your Xfinity services installed on the date you choose or have a self-install kit sent to your new home.
Thank you.
Finally get some help moving. Call 1-855-MOVE-EDGE today. And as the clock ran down, I sank the jumper.
And took the big trophy home.
And Aunt Jane.
I guess I did all right. But look at them. Great old coaches, Hall of Famers.
And Dad ran in the Olympic trials.
Your cousin played in the Sweet 16. And how about the College World Series?
That was awesome. If only I
You can. You both can. I'm already proud of you. Now, who gets these?
Me!
The Mid-American Conference, generations of champions since 1946.
Fox College Sports, CBS, ESPN. Impressive clients for college students. We write, direct, and produce our Emmy-nominated programs daily. We even designed our own virtual set. Ball State, education redefined.
Ball State Sports Link is bigger than ever. The best stories in Ball State sports, live game production, award-winning studio shows, and more. It's only from Ball State Sports Link, an immersive learning production.
Back at Worthen Arena, where the Ball State Cardinals and the Northern Illinois Huskies are tied up at 1 set apiece in a great match here to determine who will lead the MAC West division. The Cardinals took set 1 by 4 points, and Northern Illinois took the second set by 6 points, as we'll take a look at the highlights here on SportsLink TV. Ball State, again, got off to a good start, leading as much by 6 or 7 points early on in the first set, Tori.
Well, I tell you what, when you look at the first set that Ball State was able to win, they were at one point out hitting Northern Illinois 318 to 176. They established Alex Filling early in the set, but the play of Kelly Hopkins late. She hit 7-14 in set number 1. They played strong points late. Cardinals were able to jump out against Northern Illinois 1-0. In set number 2, it was a variety of players for the Huskies, Andy. Really a talented trio of sophomores, Zielinski, Austin, and Radke. Too much to handle for Ball State. Even though Kelly Hopkins had a fantastic set number 2 as well, Northern Illinois proved to be too much. The Ball State offense kind of went stagnant in the middle of the set, and there just wasn't enough time for Ball State to recover and take set number 2.
The good news is Ball State took their first set against the Northern Illinois Huskies, and the match is tied up at 1 set apiece. So certainly some things went Ball State's way, some didn't, but nonetheless, both teams probably where they expected. Our own SL's Tim Rushi was able to sit down with Haley Benson, the great middle attacker for the Ball State Cardinals, on how her season has gone so far and what's been the key to her offensive success.
I've worked really hard to get to this point. When I came in, I definitely wasn't at this level, and so I think part of it is it makes me happy because it shows me how much my hard work has paid off.
A few players that have been there all season, Haley Benson and Kelly Hopkins, have been real staples in the middle. They've been 2 of the best offensive players in the league this year.
We compete against each other during practice all the time, and you know, we're always working hard to beat each other out in practice, but you know, when it comes to a game situation, that just makes us that much better, and we have a great on-the-court relationship. Setting a new personal best for me would it would mean a ton, knowing that at this point in the season have already managed to almost outperform myself from last season would be huge, because I thought, you know, last year I did pretty well at being my first year, really being a full-time player on the court and everything. So knowing that I'm already that close to breaking that from last year is awesome.
She's probably been the one player in the conference that has been the toughest to stop. She's leading the league this year in hitting percentage, has had success against almost every conference opponent, and has just really evolved into the premier offensive player in the league this year.
I always have goals just to obviously do the best I can, but I expect a lot out of myself, and I expect myself to play near perfect every match. So not making any errors, stuff like that. One goal that I did set was I really wanted to improve my blocking. That wasn't really a strong suit for me last year, and so this season I've really been focusing on the defensive aspect of my game more than my offensive.
On the other side of the net on defense, I think her blocking is an area of her game that she'd like to really improve upon, but offensively she's been phenomenal.
Well, I'm not really the most vocal person, but I've always been told that I'm more of a leader by example.
She definitely leads by example, and hopefully next year she'll even become a little bit more outgoing. But yeah, she kind of lets her play do the talking.
A great piece from our own Tim Rushi, Tori, about the middle attacker for Ball State, Haley Benson. Benson, again, a 4-time MAC West Offensive Player of the Week. Struggling a little bit here tonight, but you can see why she is so successful just from that.
Well, she's not had her best start to a match, 6 for 14 in terms of attacks, but expect her to really come on strong here late.
Ball State and Northern Illinois are tied up at 1 set apiece. Ball State took the first, while Northern Illinois took the second. When we come back, we'll have the third set for you here, right here on SportsLink TV.
This is Alex Filling, and you're watching SportsLink TV. Chirp, chirp!
Okay, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. Hey, this is when
Necessary toughness
is the perfect play. And Ford F-150 with EcoBoost is a huge hit with power and efficiency. And keep an eye on the clock, pal, because fans snag one of these bad boys about every 42 seconds. Ford F-Series, #1, 37 years straight. That's called a dynasty, baby. Now, during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, score big savings on the hardest working lineup of trucks on the field.
Hundreds of real-world interviews at Ball State helped me realize the responsibility that comes with being in front of the camera. Society needs passionate journalists. Now I'm on air in DC with the whole world watching. Ball State, education redefined.
Ball State's Village, always active and a fun place to go on campus. A couple new restaurants have come here this year. It's really a nice place to go. I've been there many times. I know many of the students of Ball State Sports League have been there. Love Greek's Pizzeria, Brothers Bar and Grill. A lot of fun places, Tori, to go to, even on Halloween night and just throughout the rest of the year.
Exactly. You can never have too much Greek's Pizza, in my opinion, as we get ready for set number 3. As we said in the open, a very important match for both squads. Northern Illinois trying to clinch a spot in the MAC postseason tournament tonight. If they beat Ball State, they are automatically in. But Northern Illinois, they have their sights set on much bigger things, Andy, trying to clinch the MAC West, trying to officially be that #2 seed in the postseason tournament, whereas Ball State trying to chip into the Husky lead. If they lose tonight, the Cardinals fall 3 behind the Huskies with just 5 matches to play. Fair to say a Cardinal loss tonight takes them out of the running for the MAC West title and almost gives it to Northern Illinois. So both teams a lot to play for in sets 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, Northern Illinois starting with a 9-0 record, winning their first 9 matches in MAC play. That's very tough to overcome, and if the MAC season ended right now, Northern Illinois would be the 2nd seed in the Mid-American Conference Tournament, just behind Ohio. Ball State would be the 4th seed at 7-3. The Cardinals are currently tied overall for 3rd place with the Miami Redhawks. But Ball State can really turn their season towards a MAC West Division title with a win here. And again, it doesn't get much easier against Western Michigan.
No, tomorrow's match, depending on what happens tonight, just as big in terms of the MAC West standings.
And Allison, we have some for you to say here. What can you tell us?
Yes, Ball State's Sports Link is your social media leader for Ball State sports. Join over 16,000 fans with Sports Link on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Ball State Sports Link and follow at ballstatesportslink.com. And also, if you tweet in during this match, chances are we're going to retweet you and maybe even give you a shout out.
I certainly would like a shout out if I tweeted to the broadcast, so you should do that in fact, and I think you would, Tori, as well.
Let's point out something. Let's give credit where credit is due to you and I, because when we had the broadcast against Toledo, we talked about Instagram. We were not on the Insta. Now we are. All right. I'm Tori _Foxworthy and Dizzle.
And Dizzle 21. I'll tell you this, it's changed my life being on Instagram.
Is that with 1 Z or 2 Zs?
2 Zs.
Okay. Just
it was
wanted
a nickname
to clarify.
my cousin gave me, and it just stuck ever since.
Hey, whatever works.
Ball State and Northern Illinois tied up here in the 3rd set. each with one set apiece. Ball State won the first set by 4, 25-21. Northern Illinois won the second set 25-19. Always safe to say that the third set is pretty pivotal in who goes on to win the match. Ball State will look to do just that here at home and Worthen Arena.
And I'll add one thing to that, Andy. Ball State, in terms of tactics, they need to establish a second offensive threat. It's been all Kelly Hopkins. She's hitting .643, but no other Cardinal is hitting above 250. All right, Alex Filling is second at 200. 5 kills in 15 total attacks with 2 errors. Haley Benson hitting just 143. The Cardinals are going to need one other offensive threat, I think, if they're going to beat Northern Illinois, who's had more depth and more balance, it seems, in the first 2 sets.
And as you heard in that package at halftime, Haley Benson has been key to the Cardinals' success. She has struggled so far to this point of the match. 4 kills and 15 attack attempts, but 4 errors for a 0 attack percentage. And her block, she got blocked, Benson did rather, on that point. Now it's 1-1. So early on, the team's even. Gonzalez setting it up for Roddy. Now Vasilakis to Lindsay. And a miscommunication from Northern Illinois. Number 3, Brianna Horath, coming into the match. Couldn't get the dig, and Spadafora will get the kill. Now they're ruling point Huskies. So 2-1. Spadafora giving it to Lindsay, and the freshman connects. Jessica Lindsay, another young freshman, just like Sabrina Magnapour, actually not playing, not taking a red shirt. Shonda electing to play her this season, and he's getting good results.
Yeah, Lindsay, 54 sets played coming into tonight's match with 53 kills. That's number 54. And again, I think it goes back to the point. Ball State still trying to find that second offensive threat, third offensive threat, if you want to go ahead and count Filling or Benson. As Northern Illinois, I talked about it in our halftime show, really a talented trio of sophomores so far in this match, with Zielinski, with Radke, and Tara Austin as well. They have been carrying the load for NIU. And I think the Cardinals are going to need at least a couple more players to match that here in this pivotal MAC West matchup.
Haley Benson is a key person to do that as she gets her first kill, the third set, or 5th of the evening. Ball State ties the third set up at 3 points apiece. But Roddy able to convert. Mackenzie Roddy, last year all MAC first team, is currently 5th in program history with over 1,200 kills. Coming into this match, she had 374, which was 2nd in the Mid-American Conference overall. Pretty strong accolades for the senior. Filling from the left side, her attack. Saved by Northern Illinois. This is a good rally right now. Filling with a laser. And Ball State unable to keep the momentum. Zielinski able to finish it off.
And that's 2 points so far in this set where Ball State's not been able to dig out any balls. And that's another thing Coach Shondell stressed to us, is that they've just not been able to continue points. They rank last in the Mid-American Conference, 12th out of 12 in digs per set.
Lindsay, her attack will count. Her second. Jessica Lindsay, again a freshman for Coach Shondell from Frankfort, Illinois. Came into this match hitting 110%. Now she has her second killer in the third set. Spadafora will set it up for Filling. And Northern Illinois will not get the point. as a carry violation was called on Zielinski. Coach Gooden will have something to say about that call, as it's now tied up at 5 apiece. So the officials have been active here early. A couple double hit violations, a carry, and it gives Ball State, again, a tie here. The second tie score. Earlier it was 3-3. And the cross-court kill will go out of bounds from Mary Grace Kelly. So the Cardinals able to take advantage here with their first lead here in the third set. And as we always say, this third set is so pivotal. You don't want to go down 2-1, especially at home, because it's very difficult to win 2 sets in a row, Tori, against any team in the Mid-American Conference.
I'm surprised, though, we haven't seen Northern Illinois try to go up the middle more. They've been feeding balls to the outside consistently. And Ball State's defense, once you take out this point where Spadafora just not able to get a set of hands on it, I think their defense has been good on the outside, and I think Northern Illinois potentially is leaving some points out on the table by not trying to attack the middle.
Point Cardinals after the double hit violation by the setter Gonzalez, and Filling, who sent it over, able to get the point. In the end, another back and forth set, but
as you see that one roll along the net cord there to give the Cardinals a lead, 7-6. Ball State has cut down on the service errors. That was a big problem in the first 2 sets, but that's the reason why right there with Mary Grace Kelly that I think Northern Illinois needs to look at the middle, because that point worked to perfection to level this match at 7. And I don't think Ball State has really shown yet in this match that they can defend the middle.
Spadafora for Hopkins. And Ball State hasn't been able to defend the middle, Tori, but one player Northern Illinois hasn't been able to defend is Kelly Hopkins, now with 10 kills in this match. Able to go down the line past the block of Kelly.
Yeah, Mary Grace Kelly not going to win that battle against Kelly Hopkins. As I said earlier, Ball State with Hopkins and Benson, with their play in the middle this season, it's opened up the outside to whoever's out there, whether it be Mangapora, whether it be Filling, or whether it be Hopkins or Benson. Whoever's on the outside, they go one-on-one, and Coach Shondell believes they can win that battle each and every time.
That was Hopkins' 11th kill of the match. 6 away from her career high already. Point Huskies after that ball went off the Ball State block into the antenna. Benson actually had a hand on it there. Here a double block from the Huskies prevents the Cardinals from getting the point. Here's Sabrina Mangapora, though, tooling the block, and the ball goes out of bounds. Tied at 9. I don't know how many times I've said that here in the third set, as these two teams continue to match up point for point.
I think we are in it for the long haul tonight. Back and forth here in set number 3. I think that first set was a little bit of an anomaly with Ball State jumping out to the lead and not relinquishing it. This one's going to be tight all the way through.
As Roddy gets back into the action, her 8th kill in 22 attempts, hitting just over 100. That's actually a poor start for the senior considering how well she's played, but it looks like she's starting to heat up. Mangapora on the left side, defended well by Northern. Haley Benson able to save it. Great defensive play from her. And Austin will have to push it over. Point Huskies after a long rally. And there you see Roddy able to come up with the crucial point. Now the Huskies are up by 2. Coach Shondell and the Cardinals can't let this lead get too out of hand.
One of the longest rallies of the match right there, and a big point for Northern Illinois. In terms of confidence, Coach Gooden approves, and now Ball State with the mistake, nearly basically a free point to the Huskies. It's a 3-point lead for NIU here in set 3.
We'll take a break. You're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball right here on SportsLink TV.
Covering the Olympics in London as a student and seeing my work in the Chicago Tribune. That experience jump-started my career in New York City at Time magazine and developed me into a true visual storyteller. Ball State, education redefined.
Katie Vasilakis has been the libero for the Cardinals all season long. A little bit of controversy at that position after 4 years of solid play from Katie Frederick, but Katie Vasilakis has really secured the position, Tori.
Yeah, really no easy spot taking over for Katie Frederick, who had that spot on lockdown for 4 years. But since October 3rd, Katie's really dominated the backcourt, averaging 4.33 digs a set, a .955 receiving percentage. She's been a great leader on and off the court for the Cardinals, and she has been one that I think will only grow into that position here into the future.
The junior from Yorktown High School played behind Frederick for 2 years, so she knows what it takes to play that position, and Coach Shondell told us that she was hungry for that position early on. As you see, the players who have played the position this season, Nikki Box played it early on, but Alex Filling has actually, up to this point, played more matches than Vasilakis had, and that was due to Filling not playing well on the offensive side early on. So Coach Shondell decided to put the junior outside attacker at the libero position, where she actually succeeded, Tori, winning a MAC West Defensive Player of the Week. So it wasn't like she was a downgrade.
And what's important to keep in mind is that in the first half of the Mid-American Conference season, Ball State was in that lineup shift. And both coaches of Northern Illinois, coaches of Western Michigan have stressed that they knew the first time around they didn't really face the true Ball State team. Here the second time around, they feel like the Cardinals have solidified their lineup, and this is a more accurate representation of what the Cardinals will be in the postseason tournament. And I think you're seeing that here with Northern Illinois. In the regular season, a 3-0 sweep for NIU at home. This one much more competitive, and the Cardinals trying to level the season series at 1 apiece and close within 1 in the West.
They can do that, like you said, with the win. Haley Benson out of the timeout, giving the Cardinals their second straight point, tipping the ball over. That is her 7th kill here of the match as she starts to heat up. Locks will serve for the Cardinals, who trail by 1. Ronnie's attack is defended well. And Benson in the middle, tying this match up at 12.
The 8th time this set, Andy, that this set number 3 has been tied between the Cardinals and Huskies. And no team really able to pull out ahead of the other.
Lindsay! How about this? The Cardinals out of the timeout, down by 3, have scored 4 straight points, and cue that, Coach Gooden is going to call a timeout for Northern Illinois. So it's so easy to see how this match can swing from one side to the other. Coach Gooden not happy with the results he's seen from his team as they now trail by 1. Again, the winner of this set goes up 2-1 with a critical 4th set to try and win the match. The Cardinals coming off a sweep of where Northern Illinois swept them back on September 27th, wanted to prove that they could play well against Northern Illinois. As I'll toss it to our sideline reporter, Allison Wilson.
Probably noticed the great works of T-Max, signs, displays, graphics, and banners. T-Max is proud to be the student supporter of Ball State SportsLink, online at tmaxgraphics.com.
Thank you, Allison, and thanks to all our sponsors here on SportsLink TV. Ball State up by 1, Tori, here 13-12. A similar set. This 3rd set has been to the 2nd. A lot of tie scores. No team really able to get too far ahead of the other.
No, and the key here in set number 3 may be the play of Jessica Lindsay, somebody that we really didn't expect coming into this match, But again, I go back to Ball State trying to find an offensive threat besides Kelly Hopkins. The answer may be Jessica Lindsay. 3 kills and 5 total attacks. A fast start by Lindsay. Can she sustain it down the stretch? That will be something to keep an eye on. But again, a service error out of the Cardinals brings it back to 13-all, and it seems like in some of these big points so far in this match, a service error has cost the Cardinals. That's 3 off the top of my head that I can remember. 3 crucial points that the Cardinals would have loved to have had.
Ball State with the point as Benson gets the roll off the net. You're right, Tori. Service errors are something that you would think would be so easy to avoid. It's just getting the ball over the net. But as the game progresses and sometimes your adrenaline picks up, the service error really can just come out of nowhere when you least expect it. As Northern Illinois hurts themselves with that point, and Ball State again back up by 1. And here's number 4, Sawyer, Shelby Sawyer, a freshman middle blocker going behind Jenna Radke and Lauren Zielinski. Not getting much playing time this season, but Coach Gooden, seeing that his middles have not played extremely well here tonight, going with the freshman.
Well, as you pointed out earlier, Andy, depth going to be a factor for both teams. And the longer this match goes, the more players we're going to see. Good to see Alex Filling on the outside, though, get a kill. She's had 23 attacks in this match. That just her 6th kill. They have been going to her, Spadafora in particular, on numerous occasions. The defense of NIU has been strong, but that time able to sneak it under the arms of Alexis Gonzalez, and it puts the Cardinals ahead by 1.
Ball State up 15-14. Spadafora once again to Filling, who tips it over the net, catching the defense off guard. She doesn't have to hit it hard. She can try to trick the defense like she did there, and it's still the same value of 1 point.
What do they say in baseball? You got to hit it where they ain't. Same thing applies in volleyball there. NIU expecting a big attack. She plays smart, goes with the dump, and like you said, a point's a point no matter how you get it.
Ball State is going to be unfortunate here. Couple of poor passes, but Northern Illinois takes advantage. Roddy, just saw on your screen, had the attack. Roddy's another player who you mentioned as your player to watch. 10 kills now in 31 attempts. She's not necessarily going to be completely accurate, Tori, with all her kills, but the fact is she gets a lot of attempts, point blank. Filling, pushing it over the net to the left corner, and Roddy there, unable to retrieve it. So Filling being a little more creative, Tori, not necessarily hitting the ball hard every time, able to be a little more deceptive.
And to your point, Andy, it seems like both Coach Gooden, Coach Shondell, they are feeding some of their top players. Filling getting a lot of attempts, Roddy getting a lot of attempts like you mentioned. Neither one of them really able to get anything going. Give credit to the defenses of both squads. I'll give credit more to NIU in the sense that in the middle of this set, it felt like Ball State had their opportunities, but the defense of NIU was too strong, and that was a big reason why they were able to keep it close and ultimately take the lead on occasion against the Cardinals.
Still a close match, and there's a tip over by Radke. Been rather quiet here tonight, although she has had now 6 kills in 10 attempts. The problem for her has been 4 attack errors. But the ball lands on the floor the way she wanted it to there, and it's tied up at 17.
Hopkins and Mangapura leave their feet a bit too soon, and that one dumped right over the top of him for the point.
Hopkins down the line, defended by Northern Illinois. Spadafora to Hopkins. Saving it is Gonzalez. And the rally continues.
Coach Gooden nearly on the floor.
A double block by Hopkins and Spadafora. And it's point Cardinals. The Cardinals with good defense there.
And Coach Gooden right now having a conversation, trying to talk to the head official, the far official, trying to calm him down.
I think he's arguing that Ball State was in the net on that play. Either way, he's not happy with the call, and a game of this magnitude, being this close, emotions are going to run high, as you see there. Shondell, not the type we see expressing his emotions too much, but you have to believe his mind is racing at times like this.
Well, both coaching staffs know the importance of this match. Ball State in particular, as they believe they've got to win out if they're going to claim the MAC West title. Northern Illinois trying to put it away, and a win tonight would do them wonders.
Coach Shondell and the Cardinals, again facing Gooden's Huskies, tied up at 18. Again, two different coaching staffs with two different philosophies.
Exactly, and two different emotions.
Certainly,
with Shondell and Gooden.
Certainly well said, as that attack from Magnaport hits the mark. Now 19-18. And going more to that point, when we talked to Coach Gooden, his philosophy, he said he really likes to get animated with his team and really push them. And you could see that on your screen when he's very animated talking to the officials, but he's a very fired up guy. And he likes to motivate his team that way, whereas Coach Shondell Torrey, kind of the professor at work, kind of analyzes the action and kind of breaks down the team. I mean, he does it a different way.
Exactly. And that's fine. I mean, here's the thing. When you're at the fork in the road, you can go right, you can go left. You're going to end up at the same place. And both of these coaches have. When you take the resume of Shondell, the resume of Gooden, both of them have accomplished a lot in a short amount of time at their respective programs.
And that attack from Radke will fall on the line, giving the Huskies the 20-19 lead as they hit the 20-point mark for the first time here in the third set. Both these teams led by former MAC Coaches of the Year, and both have led their teams to an NCAA tournament appearance. Shondell in 2010 and Gooden in 2011. Sabrina Magnapora tying this matchup at 20 points apiece. And that's just pure athleticism.
And a hole in the Northern Illinois defense. Only one body there. Magnapora with a relatively easy kill to level this set at 20.
Sawyer with the kill as we go back and forth. The defense right now is not as prevalent between these both teams as the offenses have been very good. Tori, you already mentioned it, a hole in the blocking scheme for the Cardinals allowed that, or that for the Huskies allowed that last point for Magnapora. And Lindsay is blocked. Exactly the opposite of what I just said. That time, a great double block. Northern Illinois, Zielinski's and Sawyer able to block Lindsay.
Well, I said in the open that it would be very interesting to see the offense of Mackenzie Roddy. That time we saw the defense, her first block, solo block of this match, comes at a great time for NIU, putting them up by 2. As now it's important for Ball State to come out of this timeout and get back into this set because they are in that danger zone, Andy, of falling behind, running out of time, and then falling behind 2-1.
And if it's any positive note we should make, Ball State, the last time they called a timeout here in this set, scored 4 straight points. So Shondell knows when to call the timeouts. Same for Coach Gooden. They know when to call the timeouts when their team needs it the most. Here's Shondell sensing the momentum is shifting to Northern Illinois, and he calls a timeout thus, says, I'll send it to Allison Wilson, our sideline reporter, for a message.
This Ball State Sports Link student production is brought to you by your East Central Indiana Ford dealers. Ford is proud to support Ball State student athletes and the students of Ball State Sports Link.
Thank you, Allison, as Northern Illinois, out of the timeout, takes a 2-point lead over the Cardinals. Gonzalez will serve for the Huskies as they look to take a 2-1 victory. Ball State has only played 3 matches this season that have gone 4 sets or fewer, and only one match that has gone to 5 sets. That serve will go long. Gonzalez wishing she had that ball back.
And to help illustrate how close this set has been, the largest lead for either team has only been 3 points.
And plenty of tie scores as well. And the whistle blows, and the officials will rule the point to the Huskies. We're going to get an in-the-net call on Jenna Spatafor. 23-21, Northern Illinois leads. They need 2 more points to take set 3. here at Worthing Arena. Hopkins' attack is wide, and this is big.
Hopkins knows it too. An opportunity to bring the Cardinals within one. Instead, it's a 3-point advantage for NIU, and they've got 3 shots to take set number 3.
It all comes down to this. The serve from Roddy to try and give her team a 2-1 lead. Spatafor will set it up for Filling. What a dig in the backcourt. Spatafor to Filling again, tipping it over. Northern Illinois will respond.
2 great digs by Box.
Lindsay is blocked at the net. It goes off the hands of Vasilakis and into the stands. Northern Illinois will take a close set, 25-21. They lead the match 2-1. When we come back, we'll have set number 4 of Ball State women's volleyball right here on SportsLink TV.
I am Jenna Spatafora, and you're watching SportsLink TV. Chirp, chirp.
This is Aaron Taylor. Be sure to watch SportsLink Third Down Chirp Friday at noon. One team, one mission.
Back at Worthing Arena, where the Northern Illinois Huskies have a 2-1 lead over the Cardinals. They just took that third set 25-21 in a pivotal point of this match. We'll take a look at the highlights of set number 3. Well, starting with the first set, we'll go from there. Ball State again with a key start, going up 5-2 early on.
Yeah, it was a great start by the Ball State offense, specifically Alex Filling and especially Kelly Hopkins, who hit 7-14 in the first set with kills like that. As we went on to set number 2, I talked about it, the sophomores for NIU, Zielinski, Austin, and Radke, too much to handle. The Ball State offense really just went away midway through the set. There was not enough time for them to come back. As we went to set number 3, I'll give credit again. The Northern Illinois defense was tough. Coach Gooden, emotional at times, as you see on your screen. But right now, Northern Illinois out digging Ball State 50-40. We've had 17 digs by Brereton, 10 by Gonzalez. Jessica Lindsay came on for Ball State, tried to provide an offensive spark. She did at times, but ultimately NIU too strong. Some big-time points won by the Huskies there in set number 3, and now it's up to the Cardinals to take set number 4 and ultimately set number 5 if they want to tighten up this MAC West battle.
And Tori, it's never easy to come back and win 2 sets here, set 4 and set 5, against any team in the Mid-American Conference. But what is it going to take, in your opinion, for the Cardinals to do that?
Agreed.
So Ball State will need to turn things around here in set number 4, as if they want to continue this match and have a chance at the MAC West title, they're going to have to really turn it around and just do things much better. And one thing that's meant to be said is their middles, Kelly Hopkins and Haley Benson, have been key and doing well already here in this match. 21 attacks and kills between the two of them. So that's not been the problem. You look at Northern Illinois, their side hitting 25%, 42 kills. You're allowing Mackenzie Roddy with 12 kills. Laura Zielinski has 8. I think defense could be something that the Cardinals have struggled with early on, but also on the offensive side, Alex Filling with 8 kills. But other than Filling, Hopkins, and Benson, the Cardinals have struggled to really get activity from other players on the offensive side. And coming into set 4, they're going to have to try and put everything together and really put a monstrous comeback together to win this match at home.
And we're going to need to see more of Kelly Hopkins in set number 3. Not really much of a factor. Was in set number 1, was in set number 2 as well. But NIU has really slowed her down.
And again, looking at the stats, 14 different tie scores in that third set. It's because Northern Illinois won by 4 points, that does not illustrate how that set went at all. They were able to pull away late though, and again, that made the difference.
Exactly, and it's up to Ball State to really establish another offensive threat. It was Hopkins early. She started to fade, And I don't know if we've necessarily seen someone else on the Cardinals who can really take over that offensive role. And of note, Andy, Northern Illinois, 6-2 in 4-set matches this season. So they've been in this position before, although it's now going to be interesting to see how this young team of NIU handles the pressures of being on the road in a pivotal MAC West matchup.
Ball State takes the first point off the Magnapora kill. Here they respond with filling. Roddy been very active tonight. And Spatafora on the third hit was in bad position over by the media table on that side, couldn't get the ball over the net. And it's just little points like that that add up to Northern Illinois getting the advantage.
A very difficult angle for Spatafora, but let's give credit to her that she was a player that Coach Shondell said between the Toledo match and this one, she's really come on strong, a lot healthier than she has been all season long. She's second in the MAC in assists per set in league-only matches, and she's someone who this year is only going to get better as the season goes along and into next year when she builds more of a relationship with the outside attackers like Filling, with some of the middles and Haley Benson and Kelly Hopkins. So look to Spatafora as being a key to the Ball State Cardinals down the stretch of this season and into next year.
Alex Filling, send it home. Kill number 9, but maybe one of her most impressive of the night. That leaping ability that may have not been there at the start of the season, Tori, is back.
Very much so.
And when you see it right in front of you, you know that for a fact. Roddy will look to respond, and she does. What a great kill on the line.
Anything you can do, I can do better, says Mackenzie Roddy.
Roddy very well, working her way towards possibly the MAC Player of the Year with her performance this season. She now has 13 kills here tonight, the most of anybody in the match so far. Filling blocked at the net by Northern Illinois. She'll get a second try. And she converts. Right now, this is a battle, Tori, between Filling and Mackenzie Roddy of the Northern Illinois side.
That's exactly what it is. Still believe, though, if Kelly Hopkins can get back into the offensive groove, Ball State's going to have the opportunity here to level this at 2 sets apiece. Right now, it seems to be all Filling for the Cardinals, and they're going to need a little bit more against this NIU defense.
Roddy goes long, as she has been the primary go-to attacker for Coach Gooden here in this 4th set. The Cardinals, though, have the lead 5-2. And the point is going to go to Northern Illinois. That's something you don't see very often. But Mazalak has started her serve and stopped in the middle of it. So that's a service error.
Yeah, and Vasilakis knew it because she immediately put the ball down, did not look to the bench, did not look at Coach Shondell, went into her defensive position. But I like what she did, just started to work with some encouragement after that error.
You got to put every point, whether it's good or bad, behind you. And Northern Illinois doing that. Kelly with the kill, going off the block of Spatafora and Raker. Mary Grace Kelly, again, another one of these young sophomores playing well for Coach Gooden, as Roddy will serve. Raker with the attack, and that lands home. Amanda Raker in limited play tonight, hitting around the 200 mark, getting this one to go.
And right up the middle goes Raker. Coach Sondel stressed that if you're going to beat Northern Illinois, you have to slow them down. And it's about changing the way they play, not changing what Ball State does. And I haven't gotten the sense, Andy, that NIU's been too quick in this match. They've just been able to win some of the bigger points in some of the more crucial moments.
Those 50-50 battles, the balls that fall to the floor on your side that the other team wanted. Just sometimes it's luck, that's part of the nature of a match, but again, Ball State, Northern Illinois, I think you made a good point, have been even. It's just been those little miscues either way as a impressive double block from Kelly Hopkins and Spatafor. You see the emotion on her face. Blocks, when they're done successfully, can really be a jump starter for a team's momentum.
And look at the reaction. That's worth a point all in itself.
One of the best reactions we've seen from this team. They need it as they trail 2-1 in the match. Northern Illinois responds.
Filling wants that one back. Had the block there, just mistimed it.
Zielinski got the kill. Zielinski quietly having a good match with 8 kills here tonight. And another underrated middle for the Huskies when you compare them to Ball State's. There's a service ace for the Huskies. The libero number 7, Anna Brereton, able to make it land home. Brereton actually is a freshman this year, starting at that libero position. Tori, we mentioned how Ball State had struggled at one point to really make their libero position successful overall. Talk about Northern Illinois putting a freshman at that difficult position. That's not an easy transition either, coming right out of high school.
Yeah, and that shows just the youth of Northern Illinois. We stressed how young the Toledo Rockets were when they were here in Worthen Arena. But NIU, again, 12 players on the roster that are either a freshman or a sophomore, and some of them getting significant playing time for NIU.
Filling's attack goes wide, tying this matchup at 8 apiece. As we go back and forth again, although NIU was trailing by 4, but here they've scored 4 points in a row to tie this matchup in the 4th set. Remember, if NIU wins this set, the match is over and Northern Illinois wins. Spatafor setting up Filling, going off the hands of Zielinski. So Filling slowly heating up. After 2 sets, she only had 4 kills, but now up to 11 through a set and a half. She is tied for the team lead in kills with Benson and Hopkins.
Hard to believe, though, that after set number 1, Hopkins has not been able to follow it up. Still stuck on 11 kills. A great performance, not taking anything away from it, but a vast majority of those kills came in the first set, but she's not been able to duplicate it here in sets 2, 3, and right now 4.
And I think one reason, Tori, we can say why Hopkins has not had many attempts is because Filling has been getting all the attempts. But there's Hopkins.
She heard me.
She heard you. Well done, Tori. Hopkins now with her 12th kill, giving Ball State the 1-point lead.
And this time, Ball State trying to get some offense in the middle. Talked about earlier in this match, seemed like a lot of it coming from the outside.
Sabrina Magnapora makes that rally go Ball State's way, and they take a 2-point lead. So right there, a critical point. Ball State, if they lose it, we're tied up at 10 again, and there we go with the broken record. It's tied up again, but here, those are the kind of points that make the difference in the match. As you go up by 2.
Yeah, and those points really weren't won in set number 3 or even set number 2.
Spatafor pushed it over the net. Northern Illinois had to scramble to get it back over. And that kill just misses the back corner from Sabrina Magnapora. So the error puts Northern Illinois back within 1.
And I think you are going to continue to see the emotion of this match with both teams. Ball State fired up, Northern Illinois fired up. And again, another close set here. And it's going to come down to the 50-50 points, those 50-50 balls. Ball State's going to need them here in set number 4, and they're going to need players like Haley Benson to come up with some critical kills.
Magnapora with the attack. Now Roddy coming back. Vasilakis underneath it. Filling from the back row. That is a weapon that Ball State has even when she's in the back. Shondell says he loves playing her there because she can surprise a defense just like she did right there.
That almost too easy for Filling. Puts the Cardinals again ahead by 2. Her 12th kill. She's had 39 total attacks in this match, Andy, and we're only midway through set 4.
That's arguably her most in a game all season. Roddy, her attack will go and land for the point, going off the block of Benson and Raker. Roddy now leading all players with 15 kills in 40 attempts. As you see there, just too strong for the double block.
And this match has turned into arguably the battle of the 2 players to watch. Mackenzie Roddy for NIU and Alex Filling for Ball State. Both of them trying to do a lot for their respective teams. Ball State in this set, Andy, really not able to run and hide. NIU hanging around, and now they've leveled it at 12.
And Roddy actually made a point on that block. And while we've said she's a great offensive player, let's not forget she actually won a MAC West Defensive Player of the Week earlier this year as well. She's a two-way player. As that attack will go off of Austin for Amanda Raker. Amanda Raker now here in this match with 6 kills. As she has provided a spark off the bench for Coach Shondell. Cardinals up again by 1. Back and forth we go. Dump attack by Gonzalez is read perfectly by the Cardinals. But that time, again, the block by Sawyer and Roddy lands in the floor as Raker and Benson couldn't control it. Spadafora there with a nice attempt as well. Another 50-50 ball going the Huskies' way. Alex Filling, her attack gets dug up and sent all the way to the Ball State side. She'll return again and blocked. Raker. And the dump attack from Spadafora catches the Northern Illinois defense off guard. A good point from the setter, who, another player who has really improved this season. Struggled early on in the point. She had a hip injury earlier this season, but when we talked to Coach Shondell earlier this week, he said really the past couple of weeks she's been able to play more free. And I think you mentioned that earlier as well. It's, as a setter, if you have anything holding you back literally, like an injury, it just affects your play and how the team plays, because you're basically how the offense goes.
And it really affects the balance as you take a look at the replay. As Zielinski
tying this match up at 14.
Back and forth we go. We sound like a broken record, but it's true. And a big point here going into the media timeout.
Raker blocked by Roddy and Zielinski. 15-14, Northern Illinois, and Shondell is going to call a timeout. You're watching the 4th set of Ball State Women's Volleyball. We'll be right back here on SportsLink TV.
Ball State Sports Link is bigger than ever. The best stories in Ball State sports, live game production, award-winning studio shows, and more. It's only from Ball State Sports Link, an immersive learning production.
Allison Wilson has a message for all of our viewers.
Yes, Ball State Sports Link students and staff are proud to wear clothing provided by Nike. Nike supports the students in SL. Just do it. Online at Nike.com. And I think you're seeing there a picture of Bradfield supporting the Nike apparel and just doing it himself.
Tyler Bradfield wearing great Nike apparel. Our cameraman on the floor, Matt Organ, wearing good Nike apparel as well. The suit I'm wearing is not from Nike, but if I had a Nike suit that I could buy, I would definitely buy it.
I think we all would.
Maybe that's a new market they can tap into. Who knows?
We'll wait and see.
We certainly will. Here in the fourth set, Northern Illinois leads by 1. Coach Shondell called his team's first timeout of the set. Remember, Northern Illinois has taken 2 of the first 3 sets, so if they win this set, the match is over and they win. Ball State is trying to force a 5th set. They need to do that by winning this 4th set here at Worthen Arena. Battle between the top 2 teams in the MAC West still yet to be determined. Filling with the attack. Northern Illinois dugs it up beautifully. Hopkins is blocked at the net. Zielinski and Sawyer able to send the ball back home. Tori, it seems like Northern Illinois has shored up their blocking lately, and Ball State's offense has just not been as successful here lately.
Yeah, it's starting to fade out here, and again, big points coming for Ball State. Now down by 2. They've had the lead for a majority of the time in this set, but NIU can now taste the victory. Offense not able to get something set up there. And Ball State now, they're just behind in this point. Box will just have to play it over, and NIU gets another opportunity to win the point.
Filling again, just past the intent of the ball goes. But the ball will fall to the floor. Zielinski able to send it past Filling's hands, and now Northern Illinois with a 3-point lead, and that prompts a timeout from Ball State head coach Steve Shondell, as this is the largest lead for the Huskies in this set. Again, the Cardinals need to force a 5th set if they want to win this match. And again, recapping the MAC West standings, Northern Illinois is 9-1, Ball State 7-3. If Ball State wins, Tori, they get within 1 game of the MAC West Division first place. If they don't, they're now 3 back, which all but ends their chances of a MAC West Division title.
Correct, and that puts them back into reach of Western Michigan, who's right there at 6-4. So a big, big weekend for Ball State, starting with Northern Illinois tonight. Again, Western Michigan comes to Worthen Arena tomorrow. These top 3 teams trying to fight it out. We know Ohio in the East, perfect 11-0 with their win last night. They are almost a lock to be that #1 seed in the postseason tournament. NIU, BSU, and WMU fighting to be that #2. And right now, a win tonight for Northern Illinois really puts their foot. They really have a great opportunity to secure that #2 seed if they can win tonight.
Head coach Gooden of Northern Illinois said before that the MAC West is a completely different world than the MAC East. It's a battle, and every team has won a title in the last 10 years, which is true. Between Toledo, Central Michigan, Eastern, who are not at their top point this part of the season, they've won it before. And again, with Ball State playing Western Michigan, if they couldn't win tonight, they've got to play them tomorrow, and that's as equally as important match in their favor of the MAC West Division title. But Ball State gets a good point here. Rager sending it over, and Northern Illinois, their dig attempt went straight into the net.
Ball State has been strong out of timeouts tonight. This one is by far the most important. Now only trailing by 2 as Hine will come in and serve.
Roddy Kelly has to send it from the back row, and it goes into the net.
No ball control there for NIU, and that's something Coach Gooden said. When things aren't going right, they become one-sided. Their youth starts to show. It showed right there. This is arguably one of the biggest sets both teams have to play this season.
Jenna Spadafora was into the net, as you see it shaking on your screen, and that's a pivotal point. It was a great block by her, but she just tucked the net too much, and Northern Illinois gets the point. They're back up by 2 now. So a quick 2-0 run for Ball State is erased, as Brereton serves for the Huskies. Billing on the left side. Been very active here late. And what a turn of events. Marissa Hine with an incredible one-arm dig, and Kelly Hopkins, Tori, just flicked the ball over the net and somehow got it to land in the corner. Northern Illinois couldn't deal with it. That's a 50-50 ball that finally went Ball State's way.
NIU, in essence, crashing the net. Nobody there out back to save it. and it's important for Ball State to do their very best to get this set tied. I say that more from a mental perspective to give them some confidence going into the closing half of this set. Again, I think it's fair to say this is the most important set of the season for both Ball State and Northern Illinois.
It's now 18-18. It's the first time this set has been tied since it was 14-14. But there you go. Not the way you want to do it. A service error from Alex Filling. Again, by far the team's best server. It's just the service error is like a jitterbug. It just goes from each player one to the other and can bite you any moment.
Well, and it never comes at a good time. That is an example right there. Ball State clawing their way back to level it at 18, but then giving the lead right back to the Huskies.
A thunderous block goes back to the Ball State side somehow. Sabrina Magapore able to go off the blockers, and that ball went out of bounds on the complete other side of the net. So it's tied up at 19. A pivotal set. Ball State trying to force set 5 here at Worthen Arena. The whistle blows as Vasilakis serves. And I do not know what they are ruling yet. Right now, the officials concur it.
Yes, some confusion here.
Now the officials explaining to Coach Shondell. The scoreboard here just gave the point to the Huskies. I think what happened is that Vasilakis stepped on the line on her serve because that ball went over. That doesn't happen very often, but the back line, Vasilakis appeared to step on. So that's a point for Northern Illinois. And the Huskies have a 1-point lead, but Magnapora tying it up at 20.
And perhaps going back to that unique point, Ball State might have been out of rotation, and that's what gave Northern Illinois that 1-point advantage. Quickly erased, though, by the Cardinals. Give it up to their resiliency to fight back. But another service error comes at an inopportune time, and once again gives Northern Illinois a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, Spadafora just kind of shouted in exasperation as she understands it's her fault, but you could just see how annoying these errors are, and it just happens at any time. Northern Illinois up by 1, 21-20. The Cardinals have 4 players with 11 kills or more. Northern Illinois only with 2, but they have the lead. Rakers tap over the net, hits the top of the net, and rolls back. It's point NIU. The Huskies are now up by 2. Remember, if they win this set, they win the match. So they lead 2-1. Alex Filling put a charge into that volleyball. You could hear the crunch of the antenna. And it goes back to the Ball State side, an error, and Northern Illinois takes a 3-point lead into this timeout. As they get 2 more points, they'll win the set, thus the match. Ball State needs this match. We can't stress it enough. They need this match to potentially win the MAC West Division title. And that's important because that helps you in your seeding later in the MAC tournament. You want to have as high a seed as you can, and a division title helps you do that. And let's keep something in mind here too. The way the Mid-American Conference tournament is where it's played at has changed. It was originally outside of Cleveland, Ohio, in Geneva every year at the same location, but they changed it last year. The team that wins the MAC regular season title, Tori, gets to host the tournament. Last year, Ohio won the regular season title, so the MAC tournament this year is in Athens, not an easy place to play. Coach Shondell said even before the season started that he wanted to make it a goal, obviously, to win the title, because then they can host the MAC tournament at Worthen Arena next year. So think about how that could change their implications of any postseason play they go into.
Exactly, and right now, this is where Ball State needs excitement. They need their fans the most. They needed the drum line. They got it. But right now, 3-point lead for NIU, biggest lead of the set, and it's coming at a very critical point.
23-20 out of the timeout. And Roddy, able to connect, goes past Lobero. Katie Vazilakis on the right side, and Northern Illinois, Tori, has match point. It all comes down to this. Can the Cardinals put an improbable run together? The whistle blows, and Spadafora is called into the net, but now the officials are conferring. Spadafora, as that ball was over the net, tried to tip it over, and she did run into the net. This is a pivotal call. If it goes against Ball State, they lose the match. Everyone looking on.
Worthen has gone silent.
The fate of the MAC West Division is basically in the officials' hands.
Still no call.
And now the officials conferring with Steve Shondell. Coach Gooden looking along.
Decision time here, Andy, as we go to the replay. Spadafora goes up. Her elbow right there does clip the net.
And the officials are going to rule Northern Illinois gets the point, as you saw in that replay, and Ball State has lost to Northern Illinois in 4 sets. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll recap this match between Ball State and Northern Illinois. You're watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.
This is Nikki Box, and you're watching SportsLink TV.
Ball State SportsLink is bigger than ever. The best stories in Ball State sports, live game production, award-winning studio shows, and more. It's only from Ball State SportsLink, an immersive learning production.
This is Aaron Taylor. Be sure to watch SportsLink Third Down Chirp Friday at noon. One team, one mission.
Okay, sports fans, it's game time at the Built Ford Tough Sales event. Hey, this is when
necessary toughness
is the perfect play. And Ford F-150 with EcoBoost is a huge hit with power and efficiency. And keep an eye on the clock, pal, because fans snag one of these bad boys about every 42 seconds. Ford F-Series, #1, 37 years straight. That's called a dynasty, baby. Now, during the Built Ford Tough Sales event, score big savings on the hardest working lineup of trucks on the field.
And as the clock ran down, I sank the jumper.
And took the big trophy home.
And Aunt Jane.
I guess I did all right. But look at them. Cradle of coaches, Hall of Famers.
And Dad ran in the Olympic trials.
Your cousin played in the Sweet 16. And how about the College World Series?
That was awesome. If only I
You can. You both can. I'm already proud of you. Now, who gets these?
Me.
The Mid-American Conference, generations of champions since 1946.
We created a counseling program to help those living with HIV. I found my calling by tackling a global issue in my local community. It paved the way to Columbia University to study with Ivy League scholars. Ball State, education redefined.
If you sign up for DirecTV's latest deal, prepare to be blindsided. Because they'll double your rate before you know it. And you'll find you're locked into a 2-year contract that could cost you over $3,000. That's why the smart choice is Xfinity. You can see all the best action in football all season long. With no surprises. Don't get blindsided by DirecTV. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Welcome back to Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV, where the Ball State Cardinals lose in 4 sets to the Northern Illinois Huskies as they lose sets 3 and 4, 25-21, 25-20. We're joined by the head coach of the Ball State Cardinals, Steve Shondell. And Coach, I first want to ask you, obviously a big play that just occurred in that 4th set. What did you see from your standpoint from the sideline on that call of Spadafora?
Well, they said that she went up to set the ball and touched the net on her way up, and then the opponent was in the net as well, but they ruled that she contacted the net first, and that's why they gave Northern the point.
Coach, your defense seemed strong tonight. Northern Illinois' defense was also strong. How difficult was it to really establish an offensive rhythm? Because a lot of players on your squad had a lot of attacks, but it just seemed like it was very difficult to get anything through.
Well, I thought that was the difference in the match. I thought we played solid defense tonight. I thought their defense was superb. They took our best shots, and when you're hitting your best shot and they're coming up with the ball, it can get frustrating, and I thought that was the difference. They just made some spectacular digs. They outblocked us at the net, but I thought the difference was in the backcourt. They just made more plays back there, and I give them credit. I mean, that was phenomenal defense. They were just sticking arms out and coming up with balls, and you begin to ask yourself, what do I need to do to score?
Coach, Alex Filling really seemed to be playing the most at the outside hitter position that she has at any point this season. What did you see from her tonight from the offensive side?
I thought she gave us a great match, and they defended her well. You know, she's just been playing front row recently the last couple weekends, but I thought she played her heart out tonight, and I give Northern a lot of credit. They dug a lot of her best shots, but I thought Alex gave us a really solid effort tonight.
Well, that's certainly good to hear as, again, Ball State loses in 4 sets to Northern Illinois. Coach, thank you again for joining us, and best of luck for the rest of the season.
Okay, thanks for being here, guys.
And that's head coach Steve Shondell of the Ball State Cardinals. As we take a look at the game recap, again, Ball State, Tori, came out strong in that first set, but when you think about it, Northern Illinois took the next 3 sets.
Well, that was the thing. A great start by the Cardinals, specifically Alex Filling, and especially Kelly Hopkins. Again, she hit 7-14 in set number 1, but as the match went on, Ball State was not able to really get a second offensive threat going. It really shifted from Kelly Hopkins to Alex Filling, and that was about it. The middles of Ball State, Benson and Hopkins late, not able to establish anything. And again, like Coach Shondell just mentioned, the Northern Illinois defense was superb tonight. They came up with 68 digs. Ball State ended up with 56. That's a great number for Ball State, but when you look at Northern Illinois, when they're able to get 12 more, they just proved to be too much, had too many offensive threats. And Mackenzie Roddy finished with 18 kills tonight. That was the most by any player in this match, and that really was the key late, as well as the service errors of Ball State. Perhaps I'm looking at it a bit too much, but it seemed like when Ball State needed a point, they came up with a service error, and late Northern Illinois was just able to get a little bit farther ahead, and Ball State not enough time to overcome the deficit.
Certainly a pivotal match for the MAC West standings. And Tori, if you had to pick one player on the Ball State side, or any player, who's the player of the match in your opinion?
I think it's Alex Filling. Again, she was asked to do a lot tonight. She ended up with a total of 46 total attacks, did come up with 12 kills, hit for 152. I go back to the Northern Illinois defense. They were so superb tonight that Alex Filling just had to keep attacking, keep attacking, keep attacking. Ended up with 12 kills, as I mentioned. That really, I don't think, was truly reflective of what all she meant for the Cardinals tonight, as the setter, Jenna Spadafora, kept going to her time and time again down the stretch late. Ultimately, Northern Illinois too tough, but give credit to Alex Filling, a player that started out the season as really a libero, shifted into an outside attacking role late, and I think she's a player that we'll definitely need to keep our eyes on starting tomorrow night against Western Michigan and down the stretch, because if they can re-establish her as an outside attacker, I think this team is going to be very difficult to beat when you combine her with the 2 strong middles of Haley Benson and Kelly Hopkins.
Well, again, Ball State loses this match in 4 sets to Northern Illinois, 3-1. Ball State falls to 13-11 on the season. They're 7-4 in Mid-American Conference play, and they will take on the Western Michigan Broncos tonight right here at Worthen Arena. That's going to do it for our broadcast of Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV. I want to thank our producer, Luke Martin, our director, Alex Seitz, our WIPB engineers, Rick Martin and Eugene Smith, faculty advisors Chris Taylor, Alex Cartman, and Brad Daly, sports information directors Brad Caudill and Michael Benson, and the NIU video coordinator Patrick Gorman for getting us good video of the Northern Illinois side. Again, for my broadcast partners, Allison Wilson and Tori Fox, I'm Andy Wright saying so long from Worthen Arena. Again, you've been watching Ball State Women's Volleyball on SportsLink TV.